All right. I'm going to give it a few seconds for people to come in because I know I just did this last minute. Like I've been doing a lot of these. This is why it's good for you to subscribe and have your notification bell on because you never know when I'm just going to upload. I might not be there when you want it, but I'll be there just in time, okay? I'm sorry, let's see. The amount of burn stains on this mat, like these, from my freaking smudging, it ought to be a hazard. But, neither here nor there. Okay. I think I waited long enough, I think, hopefully. Let's see. I gave it about, what, a minute? Yep, I gave it about a minute or so, I think. So, welcome everyone. If you are new here, I am LotusMaje Divination. If you are returning here, thank you. You are very appreciated. You are... I don't want to say the reason why I keep uploading because that would kind of be a lie. I really do this for myself, but it's nice to know that other people appreciate the topics that I discuss. I'll say that. I don't want it to be a lie and it rings cheesy. Today, as you all know, or if you don't know, you're just here for me, I am doing a reading on Chloe Bailey because she recently has been going through a bit of trouble in her paradise for sure. It seems like with, you know, the constant back and forth people are giving her and whether Burna Boy is really her boyfriend or she's in some situationship. Some people kind of preying on the downfall of the relationship, which is disgusting, just because he's like known as a playboy or whatever the case may be. You know, some people just really hoping and wishing for that. Then, you know, before that, it was the recent album sales that she had where people were saying it was just really atrocious. But on top of the bad album sales, apparently
she is also being sued, or, you know, there's an allegation that she does not pay her writers for her album. And this is very concerning, following a lot of things people say online in regards to kind of like, you know, some people want to be mad at Beyonce, some people want to be mad at her, that, you know, Beyonce seems to not be supporting her or her sister when it comes to their musical journey. And she hasn't, you know, featured on a song with them or had them featured on a song. You know, a lot of people think she pretty much signed them into some 360 deal. It's all types of stuff. You know, the online will get you down the rabbit hole. Okay, you will start being like, oh and oh and oh. But, you know, this is coming on top of like a lot of things people are saying, I would say, is negative or is not in a flattering light for Chloe. And so I wanted to kind of just do a reading on this, because I also heard, or some people are also saying that they think Beyonce is really getting ready to throw her to the side because of her relationship with Burna Boy, and because it's, you know, allegedly been a report that communications between her and, is it Parkwood Entertainment, has kind of gone down the drain. So before I get into this heavy reading, hopefully I won't get anything too heavy, but hopefully I won't get anything too heavy, but I'm going to get into this reading and I'm going to see what I get. I am an intuitive reader. I typically go off my own intuition or what I get from the cards. Sometimes I come to those conclusions through color, through geomancy, cartomancy, obviously, astrology, and sometimes just plain old spirit comes and talks to me, which is always the best. And I just relay the information or the feeling that I get. So of course this leaves room for error, because I am trying to interpret and relay a message that I'm getting. So yeah, that's why I always encourage you to utilize your power of discernment. Okay. So getting into this reading, we are going to see whether or not there is something really going on here. I think the lightest part of this, well, it's not the lightest, but I think it's the part that most people are really concerned about, is whether or not this lawsuit, if there's any teeth to it, especially since Tiffany Red, I think it's her name, is involved in this as well. And if I'm saying her name correctly, this is also the same Tiffany Red that was involved with the whole Cassie and, you know, the dark man in New York situation. So, you know, she's spoken out before about things, and she has been trying to get some kind of writers guild, or what they call it, like a union together in the music industry, because a lot of writers have been kind of like shortchanged and cheap-changed a lot, which I think is also a reason why she is a part of this situation. Because as far as I know, Tiffany has said that she hasn't had like a bad run-in with Beyonce, but she has heard from several writers who have not had a good experience when it comes to working with Beyonce. They've kind of gotten screwed out of money or writing credits, or, you know, were denied access to certain things. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. We're not reading on Tiffany Red. We're going to read on Chloe. But, you know, I think there is something to be said to divulge that information. That is something I am aware of as well. And that is another reason why my antennas is kind of up on this situation, because it's pretty interesting that there's some pretty prominent figures involved in this situation. So first things first, we're going to look at, this might be a long reading because there's a couple of things I want to look at with this. So we're going to first look at this lawsuit. What's Chloe's energy with this lawsuit? Okay, I'm going to note, first things first, this card was sticking out to the side and then I had to flip over. We do have the 5 of Cups in reverse. I understand, Chloe. Four of Swords, and we also have the Six of Swords in reverse. This is a lot. I think this is really like the straw on the camel's back for her. She's so ready to walk away from the music industry. It's not even funny. It kind of feels like I'm hearing all that glitters ain't gold. It kind of feels like this situation has just been another cherry, another brick, a boulder on top of the reason why she's like, is my dream even worth it? Like, what's the point of the struggle? Let's see what's gonna really come out here for Chloe's energy in this alleged songwriter lawsuit. Ooh. Okay, nothing is gonna be good. We do have the Death card in the upright for her though. And we have the Two of Pentacles in the upright. So this makes me feel like there's some hope here for her with the Two of Pentacles in the upright and the Wheel in the upright. So to me, this makes me feel like this is going to be resolved, maybe not amicably. There may still be some hurt feelings or some, you kind of rubbed me the wrong way, or I'll never work with you again kind of thing when it comes to the writer. But I think there is something here where she may come out of this financially okay, because with the Wheel of Fortune being upright and the Two of Pentacles being upright makes me feel like she's probably going to make the right financial decision, or at least the moral decision that's going to help benefit and pay off for her long run. The Wheel, sometimes it does deal with actual money, fortune, but oftentimes I think of it as a spiritual fortune. Like, you may come out some money for this, but in the long run, you're doing something that's going to help you look good. And then we have the Ace of Cups here. She is the Cancer. I believe she's a Cancer. You know what? Wait a minute. Her and Burna Boy are both Cancers? I just thought about that. Okay, neither here nor there. We have the Six of Wands. It's in reverse. It's kind of like resting on false victories. And then we also have the Queen of Cups here. This is also in reverse. She is a Queen of Cups. This is usually dealing with your water signs. Sometimes it could be dealing with emotional, or an emotional person. I don't know who else this could potentially be for her, or just a very emotional situation, which this very much could be. I don't know about anybody else, but if I heard I was being brought up into some kind of lawsuit, I would be like, what? Especially knowing that she is a songwriter herself, and I don't think this would be something she would have intentionally done to another songwriter. And then we do have the Ten of Wands, a burden being over. I do wonder if, I would say at the least, if this is just putting a nail in the coffin for her, to where she's like, I'm no longer going to work with other writers or producers or whatnot unless, I vetted them or something like that. She would uphold her label, would have. I think there's definitely a learning lesson out of this for her. But I do think this is going to, even with the Death card in the upright, like, this is a bad situation, but I think she could potentially make lemonade out of this. Like, I don't think it's going to throw her off too much. I don't think it's going to deter her path one way or another. Oop, I had a couple cards trying to flip over there. Then I'm going to count these because I had two last time. So risk and negotiations. Oh. Risk and negotiations with the Death card here. See, this Death with the negotiation, but again, it's in the upright. So I'm just going to have to go with what I'm seeing here in the cards. I still think this is going to work out for her, but it may be a breakdown in communication, or there may be some kind of, what's the word for it? I need the word. What's the word for it? There's going to be some kind of tension point, which is only understandable when it comes to something like this. When you talk about people livelihood, money, people reputation, business, etc., it only makes sense. Let's see here. Discrimination. And I'm going to say this too. I wonder if this is not just about Chloe. Unfortunately, she's catching like a stray bullet. But I wonder if this is to expose either Parkwood or Columbia. I want to say it's more so Columbia's business practices when it comes to writers. And baby girl just kind of stuck in the middle. She just happened to be like the weak point for them to come in on. Almost feels like a test of some sort. Okay. Resourcefulness. See, yeah, I think something about this is going to work out. Now, if it's going to work out for her, or if it's going to be the actual conclusion she wants, maybe not. But I think it is going to at least be something where it's like, okay, you're getting paid. You can't say I did this intentionally. You can't make me out to be a bad person. I do think that's something that's coming up here. I just need 1 and 2 cards for the conclusion for this lawsuit. I said 1 or 2, not 5. Let's see what came out. We have God, Saboteur, Mentor. Saboteur and Mentor? Okay. Hero and Shapeshifter. If them 2 cards come out again, I'm going to say it. But read between the lines. What did I say at the top of this video? That's been going around online about Chloe and Beyonce's relationship. Okay, I think this is my first card. We have a Don Juan here. This card to me can apply in so many different ways. Allegedly, the songwriter was saying that 2 or 3 of the songs that he wrote for her on her Trouble in Paradise album, it was a lot of emotion tied to it because it was based off of things in his life for real, you know, situations he was dealing with in his relationship. This may be an influence here in regards to Burna Boy, who she's rumored to be involved with. It could be a thing of maybe somebody in here got played because of romance. Like maybe it could have been something with like, for instance, and not saying that this is what it is, but like saying for instance, maybe somebody at the entertainment company razzle dazzled the writer to kind of get him to acquiesce. For the Don Juan card here. What else do we have? You know, they like to call them industry slaves, music slaves. And this says, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. I don't know if she has a fear of making her own choices. I would think she would be better than that. But I can also understand being afraid to make your own choices in such a high stakes game as like the music industry. And that's probably why she's like relinquished her power. She relinquished her power in this sense. Like, you kind of called me at a weak moment, especially like after her first album, she had like a lot of buzz. And then she handed things over to Parkwood to be like, okay, well, you know, you guys, you see there's a potential buzz there for me. I'm at least getting people on the tour. And kind of got suckered. Like maybe she should have still been very much hands-on instead of like switching gears, changing things up, looking at her romantic life. But I mean, she's a Cancer. She's an artist. She's a woman, a young woman at that. Dating is gonna be a part of the process. But coming up again at the bottom of the deck, we have Saboteur. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and changes it will bring to your life, induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. I really don't think that's Chloe. I would be surprised if that is her, if that is her energy. But I would say again with this lawsuit, the energy I'm getting, I think it's gonna work out for the best. She may have to come out some shit coins, but I think it's gonna work out right for her in the end. It may nudge her or push her into what she truly needs to be doing. Maybe she needs to step away from music for a little bit. I mean, the way the music industry is going right now, it's a lot of issues anyway. So now I am not going to read on her in Burna Boy's relationship. I'm just not doing that. But I will read in on her in Beyonce. Because that was the other part of this I was interested in. Okay. Now she a headache. 9 of Swords, and then we also have the Hierophant in reverse here. And I was thinking of Beyonce for this one. What? You know, I did a reading on her and Beyonce a while ago. I don't know when. I know it had to be sometime last year, I think. And I pretty much got the feeling like almost like Beyonce was like, I wish you would take on more of what I did. It's almost like she gets frustrated because they are more like her in a sense. Like, stop focusing on, you know, this or that, or applying your attention to this when you need to focus on this. And it kind of makes her frustrated. So she kind of leaves them a lot of space to grow. But at the same time, she's like, I need you to, when it comes to business, when it comes to work, I need you to focus. And that can be kind of frustrating for her because she know when she was coming up where it was like, all I did was work. I didn't think about, there wasn't a time I wasn't thinking about work. And I think that's like a pain point for her when it comes to them, because they're very much like, well, we still want to live life. Ooh, let's see. Nope. Drop some cards here. I am going to count this one. We do have the 6 of Cups in reverse. She do feel a little like left alone, abandoned. This is in regards to Chloe. And we do have the 10 of Wands. According to these cards, I think they are kind of like at a crossroads, essentially. There is some kind of strain in their relationship. 9 of Swords with the Hierophant here. There's again, the 9 of Swords usually just, to me, thinks of like mental stress, mental fatigue. I'm over it, especially with it coming up in reverse in this particular deck. Like, I'm over it. I'm stressed out. I'm done with it. I have, what else can I do? I have exhausted all options, tools that I have available. And so I'm over it. And then also with the Hierophant being here in reverse. So sometimes the Hierophant, it can deal with people in robes. It can deal with, you know, somebody who is very powerful, even above the Emperor. It can deal with like the public. I wonder if there's just a lot of frustration here because I don't know, maybe there is some of the public influence maybe getting to Chloe in a sense when it comes to this. To be like some kind of frustration, some fed up energy coming from like Beyonce's side. The Ten of Wands coming up in between them is like giving up on a bird and ready to start anew. Like I'm ready to shut this down, let it go, give it up. This Six of Cups, especially with this dealing with past memory, usually kind of dealing with childhood. But when I seen this Six of Cups come up, it kind of felt like abandonment, left alone, not feeling like I'm getting the adequate time or attention necessary. And I'm tired of trying to make it seem like that's the case because I'm trying to be politically correct or because I'm afraid of the repercussions if I actually speak out and say, well, no, she's not really like that. Like things will just get even more worse for me and I'll be blackballed or whatever. I do think there's some frustration in between these two here. So I can see how communication or a breakdown in communication can be happening here. On top of like, you know, personally Beyonce and her family is dealing with or was dealing with this whole thing where they were kind of like losing money because of rumors and people trying to tie her and her husband to Diddy. What I'm just saying, this is all alleged because I don't know. This is all alleged. You know, people have been she's been losing a lot of money because of that. The stuff with the whole, that was still tied to Diddy with the, you know, the allegations which were dropped, the lawsuit allegations, whatever, where they were saying that this victim was saying that she was attacked or assaulted by Jay-Z. You know, and then on the other side, you have Chloe kind of just like dealing with growing up, her love life, being split from her sister starting her own family, you know, the relationship woes, the navigating social media or just the public in general in such a public way, especially in a way where, you know, it's not always the most flattering. Oh, I had something flip over here. Exaltation, yeah, she is like, I'm done. I think Beyonce is over it. Now, this is funny enough, this discrimination card is coming up again, and it's coming up in the upright. Feeling singled out? I don't know why that's okay. Something about feeling singled out. That would kind of go back to that Six of Cups energy, but authority. So I find it funny too, authoritative cards are coming up here, but when it's coming up in the space of Beyonce, but it's coming up in reverse. But for Chloe, does she feel like she's being restricted in some sense by Beyonce? It almost feels like I'm coming from Chloe's perspective. It can almost feel like a overbearing mother figure, maybe, is this type of energy. Or like a micromanager. But Beyonce don't give me micromanager vibes. Like, I just can't see her micromanaging them. And then we have rebellion, appreciation, and idealism coming up in detachment, okay? I'm going to tell you the best way I can explain it. It kind of feels like Chloe feels that she's not able to express her artistry freely in a way where it's like no judgment, or it's not going to be met with some kind of critique or backhanded compliment when it comes to B. But that could just, again, that could just be her perspective. And maybe it's not really coming from B. Maybe it's more so the management team, because I doubt, I just don't see how Beyonce could be that involved. I just don't see her being that involved. She seems to be very hands-off when it comes to them, which I think is part of the problem, because I feel like she should be more involved. These are two artists you signed. I don't know if she has anybody else under Parkwood, but that, as far as I know, I think these are like the bigger ones, if not the only ones. So I don't know why that happened. Ooh. I'm sorry, I got a lash in my eye too at the same time. Oh gosh. Okay, so I got Beggar. I don't know why. What show did that come from? That had to be Grey's Anatomy. I need you to choose me. Love me. That's what came to mind when I seen this Beggar card. And that's not even right. That's not even right. But this Beggar card says, confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. Here we go with that spiritual authority. The Hierophant, it does also deal with spirituality and self-esteem. And then the Shadow Attributes deals with dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Okay, I think I'm getting a beat on what it is, but let me see what this next card is going to be before I open mouth, insert foot. I want to make sure. Okay, let's see these two cards here. Here we go with Victim and Thief. So Victim, because it came up in reverse, I'm going to read the shadow part, which reads, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. And then we have Thief, which sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Shadow attributes deal with stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. I really think the shadow attributes applies for the Thief in this particular reading. And this is why I say that this kind of feels, at the very minimum, at the very least, Chloe feels overshadowed, which she is, by Beyonce. There's no getting out of the shadow. There's no right thing she could do where people, whether there is something there where it's kind of like, hey, well, I want to I want to go on TikTok today and voice my dislike that my mentor did because that's the end for you. Beehive attack, done, over. There can be something where she's, enough of, like, even though the better option is, hey, I like my mentor, she helps me out a lot, she isn't overbearing, she allows me freedom to do what I want, she gives me critiques, she helps, hey, you should probably add this riff or turn the tune here, or maybe add some drum lines, or whatever the case may be. There's not enough praising I can do either without people thinking that I'm just being a suck up, or people think I'm lying, because most people think Beyonce isn't trying to help me with my music career anyway. And there's never enough that she can do, whether it's just being her own self, where people are not going to compare it or be drawing some kind of parallel or line to Beyonce. So it's always like, just because she's my mentor, you feel like I can't be just, there's never enough where I can be just like her, and I can never be just like her. And there's not enough I can do to try to separate myself from her without also garnering some kind of dislike from the public as well. So it's like I can't win for losing. It just feels like that's the thing here. And I think that's a situation where neither her, maybe neither Beyonce nor her sister probably considered in this situation. They probably thought it was going to be a thing, well, no, people are going to see you for yourself. And it's kind of like not been the way it's been going. And I think that's kind of a pain point between the two of them, because it could be, you know, very much Beyonce is on the side like, hey, go do what you need to do. Go be yourself. I support you here and there. I'm not trying to be too involved, because I don't want people to, anytime they hear your music or this and this and that, and they hear me because I've influenced it or put some kind of touch on it, and now they're saying that, you know, all of your stuff sound and look like me. I don't want it to be that thing, but I'm going to watch from the shadows. But you are upsetting me because it seems like you're not applying yourself in the way I would want you to. I think that's probably the frustration. Whereas on the other side with Chloe, I think she was hoping it was going to be more of a hands-on situation, or at least a more attentive or a more open thing, and it's probably not quite the relationship she had hoped or wanted it to be. And I think that may be where the pain point is coming up at here. That could be the issue. And then the underlying card here, we have the Knight coming up in reverse, which deals with allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. I feel like that is Chloe all the way. We have the Healer here, which deals with passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transfer pain into healing. And then we also have Child Orphan. Child Orphan. We're going back to this. Why does Chloe have like such a big mother wound? I feel like her mom is around. And I feel like I picked up on this before. Like, it's something about her, it's a mother wound for her, and it's just an issue. And it's a pain point because she's a Cancer. You know, Cancers is all about motherly love. That's that wound, the emotion. It's, you know, very womb energy. Just, Independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. But the shadows of this reads a feeling of abandonment that stifled maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. That don't sound like Chloe to me at the end of the day. That is what is boiled down to me. Okay, that's the energy for this. It feels like, why does it, at least from Chloe's end, the energy I'm getting, and this could change, hopefully it does, hopefully she gets this together, but it feels very much like this is a mother wound for her, and she's been trying to find that mother figure, and she kind of hasn't found it. And she might have to come to terms with that. Maybe in this lifetime, that is the karma that you are having, the karmic process that you are going to have to move through. Sad to say. And how long have I been on? About 40 minutes. I'm going to wrap this reading up because I know this is another interesting part for some people. I'm not going to read, again, I'm not going to read on Burna Boy's and Chloe's relationship, but I am going to look and see how Beyonce feels about the relationship. If she even have any feelings, she may just be like, girl, bye. Let's see here. Okay, I have two sticking out here. We do have the Nine of Cups in the reverse, the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Yeah, this just go back to what I was saying. It feels like she like, girl, you can worry about love later. You need to focus on business. You need to focus on business. What's the underlying card? The Tower in reverse. Yeah, she's like focused on the money. You are not focused on the money. Like, can you at least use this relationship for some kind of collaboration? A bomb song or something like. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think Beyonce cares one way or another. It's not her child. It's not her body. But she's like, you know, as you being my artist, I do wish this could be more focused on other stuff. Like, you seem a bit boy crazy, and I need you to be focused on the business. And if you're gonna date around, at least make it a, how can I say it? At least make it something where it makes sense. Literally, where it's gonna make sense. It's gonna make dollars. It's gonna generate some stuff. Because otherwise, it's a waste. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. We'll see. We're gonna see if anything I picked up in this is like gonna come up. I definitely am interested in hoping that the lawsuit or the alleged lawsuit, no, I'm pretty sure it's a lawsuit now. Now if it continues to go to court or an agreement or whatever is made is pretty much up in the air. But I do hope that that is resolved and it's wrapped up pretty nice in a bow, because it seems like it's going to end pretty well, at least according to the cards that I got. I didn't pick up on anything like really negative about that. It may not be the kind of reconciliation that either parties probably wanted to come to, but that's the thing when you're coming to an agreement, some kind of, what do you call it? Like a give or take situation. So yeah, the rest of this was just icing on the cake for me. So let me know what you all think down in the comment section below. What is your opinions? What do you think is going on here between Chloe and Beyonce? I definitely think it's just a mother wound situation and feeling a bit overshadowed. Yeah, poor Chloe. Let me know what you would like to see a reading on in the comments as well. I'll probably come back again Thursday. I'll probably do another reading, but we have to see, because I've been just popping on and doing these at random moments. So yeah, so you want to make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see the next time I upload. Thank you all for being here, for the likes, the shares with your family, your friends who are also into tarot or just into readings on celebrities. Thank you, thank you. And with that, I wish you all a great night or day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next upload. Bye.